can I suggest? See, I'm going to suggest because tomorrow I'm gone. You don't have to look at me. So what? Can I suggest that while we're here, we decide that this area of being mechazik one another, that everybody will take at least one guy that'll keep up with it. So do to schreiben what's going on, where I am, and this is what's happening with you, and tell me more. And in Taka, you can make this, and you can suggest and encourage and send pictures and the other thing is harder. I don't expect. I would just suggest that we decide that we're going to do something about it. So only maybe that achlota we can do here and now. But it's a much more difficult thing. And I don't expect anything. But this is doable. It's immediately doable. We get that tracht, but you make up like a gebrus, but it is schlicht gebrus.
Thank you.
It's not geschat if you learn something together once in a while too. But we're talking about the Ishas Rei, the Hakel, the mutual consideration and concern, that we can make up now. Can I suggest further that you put your names in our tattles, clothes, and give it to the Bad of the Kinus? They should give it over to the Rebbe at the end of the Kinus. Instead of just Hachlotes, sometimes vague and makiv, lufting, it's tough. I'm going to keep up with Ploini, and I'm going to encourage Ploini, and tough. That's Svora, Chevra, yeah? Huh? Something? There's a lot of pads around. Everybody got a pack of pads of pens, and anybody have a pad that he can send around papers, write down the names, and because,
Your preferred mentor.
Your preferred mentor. The idea that the mentor and the mentee should concur. You know the story of the Rabbi Levi with the drasha that he gave before Shabbos HaGodel about talking about his kingdom. The Rabbi Levi with the Moed Dikadash and the Orah Dvash, he comes home after the drasha and his wife asked him, "No, accomplished half. What's half? The Orah Malayit agreed to take." So we need that okay, guys, take it. I'm going to build an ice now, stack on my boat. That's why I still look around. Pass it around. Write down your name. Make up SMS, your chaver over here sitting around the table, and make up the. But tachlis. Should happen.
Since nobody has pen, we'll do this
giving. What? Candy said how many people know the gatter.
No, you make up with somebody. You SMS somebody.
Candy said how many people.
It's like, I want to hear the beeps. Come on, guys, the beeps. The
so what do we do to the
SMS? So you make up with Floyd that you're going to keep in touch. Write your name. And you can close it up and keep it, send it to the bar. And a love note. But yeah, it is a love note. Exactly.
Take the airplane.
It's going to pick you up. That's why it'll be a big airplane. Stay. It'll pick you up off the ground. Atef, atef. Chonuni, no. Try that. If it doesn't work, come back. Come back, let me know. I think it's nice and you don't have to be got come to paper to inform me. My email is dashcham, easy to remember. Tell me, I tried and it didn't work. We kept up with each other and I encouraged him and he encouraged me and forget it. It didn't make a difference. Let me know. Okay. You already know that it didn't work. Oh, you didn't send that to me. Okay. You made it. Dashcham@gmail.com. You can take a WhatsApp. WhatsApp complicated enough to get into me.
Dashcham@gmail.
Dashcham?
D-A-S-H-C-H-A-M.
Yeah. For those who understand, it's very easy. For those who don't,
I'm going to write that down. Dashcham. I'm going to write that down. I like the email.
Tell us the story with your father and the Shidurim, the Tanya Shidurim, Tovshin Chof Hey. Was it your birthday?
I'll tell you what.
You Zayin Cheshvan?
That one little Nakud which they gave.
It's felt with this.
But first of all, let's get moving. Come on, get the beeps going. Stel dat voor je in the middle of a simcha and Tammuz saying a mimer. That's that beep.
It's all on silent. Fabrengen, it's all on silent.
Okay.
I don't know if the guy wants me to call.
Guys, do you think it's impractical? Is it impractical?
Dashcham@gmail.com.
Study. Is it impractical? No? Do it.
No, Dashcham, because nobody can spell Levi Weinberg, and that's going to stop me.
You only need that email address with
als tut mir mal Schubes, treibt man nicht bekannt sein. 1 Jahr, 2 Jahre, 3 Jahre, 4 Jahre, sie geht nicht. Sagt der Rebbe, Shabbat ist ein Weg. Du bist ein besserer Rebbe. Das ist schwer. Rebbe.
Dial 11 is gerade.
Da habt ihr gesagt, wisst ihr, was Weg?
Ich sitze in der Ort mit ungeheben mit einzelnen Masel und Heinz, alles mit Bakuk, nur sein machen. Ist na da Matze. Well, the einzelnen Masel. Ja, ich schirr Woche mit Knenkel, das gekannt, gebeut, und mit der ungeheben und Ato, Haisi, Bakuk, nur sein machen. Ist in der Matze. By the way, Ruben Dunin is going to last a month. And the yogi boiled them. Well, the boil of a macht. Real good. Rebbe doet de geschik. In Melbourne, dat is het heen.
Luister. You need somebody older, wiser, and frommer.
En sloeg even te heffen daar met dat bal en wie naar het heeft ja, hij schrijft.
Hoe das die Kinder, allein meistens sind Alben und Sprache und mit dem und der Mekabel nicht.
Die Musik ist so schön, die Welt beginnen. Der Mittler Rebbe hat gestoppen. Bei anderen, so ausgebrochen als Reifen Lubavitch, verbrennt geworden. 40 Bichlach pro Jahr. Gekommen zu jenigen in der Matz. So, hat der Mittler habe gesagt, Matsch, Batsch! Der Mittler habe den Meter gesagt, Schemes von Kabot, hat Batsch, Hashem, give up king, hat Batsch. Du Meter gesagt, Schemes von Kabot, ich mein Post, bis der Matsch, kommt der Batsch. Weil der Schad des Reifers, die gerade wird das und das, und der Bichlach stoppen, was kennst du nicht immer schreiben, hat sie nicht geraten. Matsch, Patsch, meint doch doch Schemes von Kabul. Also der Prüfer nicht gerettet, nur Schemes. Anyhow, let me let talk. It's okay, if it's workable, let's make it happen. Do it. Ay da da ay 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 da ay I think everybody knows that the Rebbe Nechane Nifter Bob Tishrei Tovshin Chavei, and that year, Rebbe made a special kriyas every Shabbos. Rebbe Fabrengen, but the Iker of the Fabrengen was in fact a limud. It was Rashi. That's when the Rebbe started the Rashi Sichus, Pashas Noach Tovshin Chavei. The background to that with a letter my father sent in, I think between Yom Kippur and Sukkot or Chol HaMoed, I'm not sure, that year Chavei, in which first of all he reported that in the radio program on the Shabbos Bob Tishrei he dedicated it to Ili Nishmat the Rebbe. To which the Rebbe answered, Hali b'choleis Odom mitzapel Hali b'choleis Odom mitzapel. At all times the person looks for a word of Nechumim, especially at a time like this. And then he wrote further. B'yoyis that the Rebbetzin was a big marito, she was a big fan of the shiurim on the radio. So I have a machshavah, said my father, to make a shiur l'ilin nishmos of b'meshel the year. But I've got three problems. First of all, I don't have the money. I would give it myself. By the way, he never accepted advertising. He never wanted to take any advertising for the Shia Tanya. He felt it cheapened it. So, first of all, I don't have the money. I would do it myself, but he wrote the master, whatever. I can't. Second of all, I don't know what sichas to give over in the program. And remember, at the time, there were 2 volumes of Lekutz Sichas. Third of all, he wrote, even now, I lack time to learn with my children. And I see that when I learn with them, Shabbos makes a difference. If not, then it's not a very good thing. So I'm worried. So the Rebbe answered like this. On the first thing, doesn't have the money for it. Macht olai. And machat olai. Half the expenses on me. I'll participate in half of the cost of the radio time. The second thing, that what sichas should he take? Ze mechazik sforosi l'zvayit b'li neder b'meshach hashona b'kitzur b'zman al kolponi. In other words, being that it'll be the mechazik sforosi l'zvayit b'meshach hashona b'kitzur b'zman al kolponi. In other words, since it'll be given over right away, it won't only be the people who are there, but even those who are not there are going to hear it. It'll be the nishma. So that mechazik, they're about a svara to do it. This is mechazik.
Wasn't that the original plan? It was only Shabbos Mevorachim, and his plan
Until
was
then,
to
it was
do
only Shabbos Mevorachim Yom the Bakri. Until Chavei Bechlal.
and his plan was to do it every week.
On the Shabbos, only Shabbos Mevorachim. That was get from the Bechaya, the Friedrich Rebbe. The Friedrich Rebbe had the Rebbe Fabrengen. Shabbos Mevorachim, you can have anochas today of those Fabrengen. And the Rebbe continued when he took on the Nistis.
So because his svara was to do it every Motzei Shabbos, that's why the Rebbe also has raised a mechazik svaros.
The Rebbe's svara was to Fabrengen every Shabbos. Did I say b'chol Shabbos Kodesh?
B'chol Shabbos for Shabbos.
B'chol Shabbos. B'kitzur b'zman al-chobah. Third thing he didn't address. So when the Rebbe said Machta alive, my father asked, can I take the other half? Why did he ask? Because the Friedrich Rebbe once related when he was working in the Yoni Aklau for the Rebbe Rashab. By the way, you know that you based Tammuz on the anniversary when the Friedrich Rebbe turned 15 years old. The Rebbe Rashab took him to the Holim and gave over the Askonas HaKlal to the Friedrich Rebbe. Anyhow, so when the Friedrich Rebbe was working with the Rebbe Rashab, so he once sent a telegram from wherever he was to the Rebbe Rashab. When he came back to Lubavitch, the Rebbe Rashab asked him, how much was the telegram? I want to reimburse you. So the Friedrich Rebbe Damakid no. Cost of the telegram. That's something no. You have to be reimbursed for all your expenses. Don't you want to give toward the cause? Fine, gesund der hate. But if you lay out money, you have to be reimbursed. It cannot be from your pocket. Why? But master chamol that there's an expense in the Yoni HaKlal. And if it's going to come from your pocket, so you're going to start making cheshbonos that really you don't need to send a telegram. It's not so urgent. You can wait until I get back. And your head starts working differently because it's your pocket. So you have to know that it's not going to affect your pocket. You're covered. You want to give? Tokiv, Yamas Tokis. But you are covered, your expenses don't come into it. That's why my father asked if he's able to be mishtatev in this from his own money, that the other half should be his. I said, okay. This was Tishrei Chavei. I have an older brother whose Yom Haledes is dying Chesh. He went in for the Yom Haledes to Yechidus, and the Rebbe said to him, "Was herzlich, doch dem Taten, soll ihm geben, was herzlich mit die Schutfest. Weiß schon, welche Schutfest." So first of all, I think it's very important to know about the expenses. That's the Hira, huh? Now listen, you keep cheshbon. The moisid is a moisid, in your pocket is your pocket. I'm a hip on mission, I'm all, So the shalach, so it's a dangerous business. So the Rebbe said, keep it separate. Weiter. My bar mitzvah, it was David's Chavdayim. I went into Yechidus with my parents. So, Bar Mitzvah Yechidus, the Rebbe has questions about the Maimer, about the Bilbo. The Bar Mitzvah was Shabbos. So the celebration was Motzei Shabbos. It was Young Israel of Eastern Parkway. Young Israel of Eastern Parkway was not far from Choyve V'Torah, but it was the Young Israel building, and they had a function hall. Very big, not very big, it was a function hall. So the Bar Mitzvah was there, Motzei Shabbos, in that function hall. Problem. Mainly the Tanya, you can pre-record, send it to the radio station, and they're going to play it Motzei Shabbos. But what do you do with the stichas? The stichas are from that day. So how do you give over the stichas if there's a Bar Mitzvah that night? So he arranged with the radio station at the time, there was a big chiddush, that they're going to draw a line from the radio station to the hall, Young Israel, where the Bar Mitzvah would be, and he would broadcast from there, in the middle of the Bar Mitzvah. But being that the Rebbe Doch, it's his program, so in Yechidus, my father asked if it's okay for him to give over the sticha from there. It was a winter Shabbos, so there was some time between Shabbos and the Bar Mitzvah to type it up. He typed up stichas. Summertime it wasn't shaykh. He used to go with the Rabbi Yoel, he used to walk home. The Rabbi Yoel used to chazer over, he used to think it over, and it went straight Motzei Shabbos to the radio station. He used to keep tokens in the locker in 770. As soon as Shabbos was out, onto the subway, and he'd go to the radio station. But the winter, there was time, he used to type it up. So he asked the Rebbe in Yechidus if it's okay that he gives over the sticha from the Bar Mitzvah. Is it okay to say at the sticha git men iber von dem Saal, wo man feiert the Bar Mitzvah von mein Sohn Levi. I remember the Rebbe listening, I think with the Rebbe's head, like listening very carefully. And then the Rebbe turned and said, ja, no ein Dach. Nicht nützen dem Wort Saal. Weil a teure Chosva am Amoinem shal Yisro. Nicht nützen dem Wort Saal. Don't use the word hall. That we're broadcasting the sticha from the hall where we're celebrating the Bar Mitzvah. Don't use the word hall. Why? Because if people hear that the hall, the wall of Astoria, meanwhile it's the Young Israel of East Parkway, but people here, they don't know, the hall of the hall. So it becomes kind of acceptable to make Bar Mitzvahs in the hall. By the way, my own interpolation, there was a certain clip in the 50s and 60s, because a lot of these people making simchas they were plated, survivors, and they just making it. So it was up in India, and they had Bar Mitzvahs with mountains of chopped liver. You come into a plate, you see in the centerpiece chopped liver, begalach of chopped liver, and all kinds of crazy things that people did for simchas. And it looks like the Rebbe wanted to be mevatel the clip besides the fact that he didn't want people to spend so much money on the simchas. So the Rebbe said, nicht nitten dem Wort Zal, weil a teure Chos al Mamoyne Sheyesal. Instead, the sticha geht mir lieber von einem Ort, wo man feiert the Bar Mitzvah, von einem Ort, no doubt. Meanwhile, you see the Rebbe's diuk in our word, that how the word can be misconstrued by the listener. He hears Dal and he thinks, what? And also, I mean, you see how the Rebbe didn't want to come across ostentatious. And I think it's the dilemma, particularly for Shluchim. You want your moisture to sound successful. On the other hand, we have an achrayis to our people that it's not the derech of Chabad that everything had it had to look like Umagwas, it had to look gaudy and ostentatious and fancy. It's a dilemma, huh? What would you say?
That's why they have the Kinus here.
I'm a chayiv for that. Ay, ay, la, la, my